Okay, today I just want to explain something a little bit before we start getting too deep into the project. What I did was, what we're going to do is we're going to convert a mains guitar amp that has no battery into a battery guitar amp. Okay, so let me explain what I've done already, because like I've said in other videos, I always think of, yeah, why don't I put this on YouTube so people can see it, sort of when I've got to indulge. But let me try and explain anyway, right, quickly. So this came out of this here, this little baby here, came out of this box. What you want is a guitar amp. Right, you see the gap in the top, that's where all the knobs go, these knobs along here. What you want is a guitar amp that has an open back. Very important, an open back, little shelf at the little guard at the bottom, open back, okay? That gives you easy access to the battery, in and out, charging and things like that. Right, now, so let me explain what I've done. So I've taken it out of the box. Okay, I've got it here on the table. Right, now, what you need to do is you need to remove this transformer. It's a transformer, right? So you need to remove the transformer. These two red wires sticking out this end, these wires sticking out the bottom, the brown and blue. In your case, it might be brown and black or red and black, I don't know, right? Different models for different things. So basically, this goes to the mains. See there? So those two wires go to the mains. Then they go to this switch here, which is this. Oh, which is that switch there. Okay, which we will be using. Right, and it sort of makes a circuit. So when you switch down that switch there, the whole amplifier comes on. Right, so that's that end. So you want to cut them off of here. Cut them away. Off of your kettle plug, I call them, I think. Old-fashioned name. So cut it off your kettle plug, these wires, and then these two that are coming out the top, they're going to be your feed, whether it's 21 volts, whether it's 24 volts, that will be your feed into the motherboard, which is here, which will be plugged in with something looking like this. You just get it a minute. Something looking like that. Okay. And that plugs into the motherboard. So these two wires were there, and that plugged into the motherboard. So what you do is unplug that. We're going to use that as well. Okay, that's important. All right, so take that away. I might be able to put it on pause now and get a quick coffee, because I think I've explained all of that I needed to get out of the way, because I'd already started project Z9. Right, this thing here, remove it, as I said. So we're going to put that over there. That's gone. And that's quite heavy, by the way. Right, but obviously the battery that you put in it's going to bring that weight back. Right, so that's it. So it's all clean now. They're ready for its internal battery. So I'm going to get a coffee quickly. I'm just going to put this on pause. And I'm going to go and get a coffee quickly. I'll be back with you as soon as pos. Okay? Okay. The coffee, the water's brewing. I thought I'd just show you this quickly, okay? This is the battery I'm going to use. So it's charged through there. It's a jet wash, an old jet wash battery. It's charged through there. And obviously live negative. These two, okay? So I'm going to use that. Okay? You can use any battery you want. Any battery you want. But I will warn you, you need to know what is coming out of here. Very important. Because if you don't know what's coming out of there, you can do that with a multimeter. But if you don't know what's coming out of there, say for instance, I know that it's 20 volt coming out of there, so I'm using a 21er. Well, we should be okay, it won't blow it up. But say for instance, this was 15, let's say, and this is pushing out, sorry, I'm trying to keep it together for you guys, and this is pushing out, say, I don't know, and 20, 22, 18, maybe. I know a lot of them do push out 18, right? If you lose a 15-volt battery, you're going to get crackling. You're not going to get crisp sound. You need to go just over the volts or just on the volts, really. Right, now, so there's the battery I'm going to use. So I put that down for a minute. There. And we'll put this back again. Kettle's boiled. I'm going to go and make my coffee. It's going to be a lovely little project, guys, all right? Right. Let me just put this on pause. I'll be right back. Okay, Stocky coffee's here. So, right. Oh. Okay, so let me put that somewhere safe so that don't fall on the floor. So for this project, you're going to need one soldering iron. You're going to need probably one pair of scissors just to cut the wires, and you're going to need a blow. This isn't ultra necessary, but it's more professionally. Going to need one of these blowers, right? Right, it blows hot air, basically, this thing. Okay, it's gas, it runs off of gas. But what you're going to do, the reason I'm showing you that, peeps, is because these wires here that you're going to do, you know, you want these tightened down. This will, they're like sleeves, collars, and you put them over the wire. They're sort of that long. You can shorten them as well, depending. Right, you put them over the wire, and then you just heat it up. And what it does is it binds onto both wires, keeps it nice and sturdy, and it looks neat and professional. But that's up to you. You can just twist them around. You can do what you want, solder them, put tape around them or whatever. But I suggest you do it this way. Let's keep it sort of, you know, at least semi-professional, right? So you got that, and obviously your screwdriver set. So take all this apart from that box, okay? Okay, and obviously the transformer. If you've got this kind of setup, you'll find the screws underneath. They're the screws that actually loosen transformers and things like that. So anyway, this is going to be good. I'm really looking forward to this. So we're going to just indulge now in a bit of I'll be right back. There's something I should have shown you. Okay. Oh, there it is. Here we go. Right, so we got this. Because you're going to need something to connect this battery to the end of these two wires. Say it was soldered there and soldered there. You wouldn't do it because that's just cowboy. And you need to remove this battery to charge it. Remember that. Right, you want to be removing this battery, and plus you can buy extra ones, so you've got two. So when you go busking, you can actually take two with you. Such a brilliant idea. I should have thought of this years ago. Right, now this is the other end of that wire, and that plugs into your board. See, so it's quite simple, right? So you're going to need something to connect this end to the battery. I'm using this. I know it looks strange, but this is the bottom of the jet wash. I thought rather than I make two plugs that plug into each other, because you can just put a plug on there, a male, and you can put a female coming out of here, say soldered there, a female coming out, right? Plug on the end, female plug on the end, with a male on the end of this one, bang, in there, and it's all happening, right? That's straightforward, but I thought, well, why not use this? It makes sense. Solder something, solder your live there and you solder your negative there on the other side. And then that'll just slide nicely in. See? That'll slide nicely in, and that will power from this end into the circuit board the guitar amp. It is pretty simple when you think about it. I mean, people try and make it look quite complicated, but it's not. It's not complicated to convert a guitar amp. So you want to sort of find a guitar amp that's reasonably going to be like 21 output from the transformer. And And then you can get these batteries really easy. You can even buy them singly by themselves. Absolutely brilliant. So that's all out of the way now. Let's start doing the project. So I'll slide that out. And if you are doing it off an old jet wash, just remember that. So you don't have to get a female and a male plug. Okay, so let's put that aside again. Okay, just going on pause for a second. So let's start. You've got this wire, as I said. Yeah. Okay. Cut it. So it's like that. Cut it. Okay. Do it the live side. You can do it the live side. So this switch that I told you about in the front that turns the whole amp on and off when it's in the mains, these wires, don't get confused, right? You see these wires here? Yeah, they go to the back of this plug, but you also the live will run to this switch like a circuit, and it'll break the circuit. So when you switch it, obviously everything goes off, so it breaks the circuit of the 240 volts coming in, like 110 if you're in other countries or whatever. So the 240 volts coming in, right? So it'll cut that, amp goes off. So we're going to use that, and how we're going to use that is a split wire here. So this, remember, this plugs into the board. So let's plug that into the board now. Let's do that now, okay? So that's going to plug into the board nicely. Okay. And now you're going to solder these two ends of the side that you've cut into. You'll solder it to the switch. 1, 2. Okay. And okay, let me just arrange that. So I'm trying to get it so you can really see it properly. Okay. All right, so let's fire up the soldering iron. All right, get the solder. Okay. You've got a light. Yeah, I remember that from the drone project. So we've got a light there, which is really handy. I'm just waiting for that red light to go out, because once it's green, then it's hot enough. Right, it's green. So now we're going to put a bit of solder on there. This is going to work a treat, guys, I'm telling you. Put a bit of solder on there, right, on this wire. Come on. Okay, put a bit of solder on the other end of the split wire. Then solder one of them onto the switch. Okay. Then solder the other one onto the other peg on the switch. Okay. So that's done. So the other end of the wire, you want to find an entrance, because this fits into the box quite tight, into that box. Right, and what you'll do is, obviously you're going to use the entrance, the little hole where the screw went in for the transformer. So just push it through there. Okay, it's your battery wire. Bring her through. Okay, now you've got your battery wire, and I suggest, should have done it, just put a knot in it. Not a tight knot. So you don't pull any internal wires. Okay? When you're removing the battery and things like that. So just put a knot in it, like that. Then throw a few through, sorry. Okay, like that. It's coming out the bottom now. And that'll go to the battery. This is speaker wires, by the way. They're the speaker wires to go to the battery. That's it. I mean, you see how simple it really is. And people rack their brains, you know, they get these guitar amps that are electric, and it's like, oh, I can't get a battery one that's powerful enough, or, you know, just convert the one that's electric, because it will give you a good sound. This is a 25 watt amp, so it's not too quiet, okay? But I have got other ones that are 5 watt with a battery, chargeable and all that, battery built in the factory and that, and at the end of the day they're just not loud enough. So if you want to keep your loudness and all that, then do this. And don't bother with those other ones. Right, anyway, so there you go. There you go. Just leave that there. That's doing nothing now, this kettle plug. But it doesn't matter, just leave it there. It can come out. There'll be a big square hole there if it comes out. But I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not really bothered about that. Okay, and that's it. So these, right, the other two ends, remember, is the plug. If you're using a female plug, say, what sort of plug could I say? Say an LXR, maybe not even that. Let's just say a DIN plug for the sake of it. And you're powering it out like that. Make sure you've got the female on the battery, the male on that one. So, right, my little device that I've devised here is to use this, as I said. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to solder that. I know I'm speaking sort of a bit gobbledygook here and there, but it's only because it's been a real nightmare to really sort of decide if I really wanted to do this, or just right, get the soldering iron back on, or just not do it. There, you know, because at the end of the day, you have destroyed, in a sense, you've destroyed the amp, because it's not original anymore. So remember that when you do this, it won't be original anymore. You can keep the electrics and the transformer. There's a bit more wiring involved where you can actually charge the battery, but that's a more depth project. This is just more simple for the layman. I like to do things for the layman, so everyone can have fun and build these things. So anyway, so that comes out there. So what we're going to do now, we've got green. We're on green, so what we're going to do now is we're going to put some solder on this wire. Lovely. Put some solder on the other side. Lovely. Okay. Then we're going to solder that to our little connector to the battery. It's a shame really, because I had 2 of these batteries. What actually happened is the jet wash, a lot of water got into the case, and one of the batteries ain't working. It just shows 12 volt for some strange reason. So I had to fling that battery. Okay, there you go. It's on there nice and tight. Now when I connect the battery to that, the amp should come on. Right. I just want to say there's an LED at the front of amps. You can incorporate that. I've chosen not to incorporate it. But you can incorporate. You're going to need resistors. That's the only thing. If you put something like a 5 volt LED, if this is a 5 volt LED, I'm not sure what it is. So you can incorporate that into the system by connecting it. Remember the switch? The 2 wires that went to the switch? To connect it, just split them and connect it to that. So you connect it, one leg positive, and you got the negative on the other side, and that will create a circuit. So when the battery's connected, it will run along this line, and it will run to the LED, which will be here. But I've chosen to leave that out, and you'll need resistors as well to connect, so you don't blow the LED diodes. So I've left that out anyway, and that ain't a problem for me. So this thing here, now I'm going to connect it now. So this is the truth of the puzzle. This is the truth now coming up now. So what I need to do, guys, is I'll just get the guitar. guitar right over. And bring the guitar right over. Let's keep slipping this mic. Bring the guitar right over. Like that. Okay. So we've got the guitar over now. And that's plugged in. So now we're going to put the other end, obviously, into your input, which is there. Now we're going to need some sound. I'm doing it like this because I don't want to put it all back together. Make sure it's working. So this is here. This is the speaker. So where's my speaker wires? Oh, everything's getting a bit crowdy now. Where's my speaker wires? Okay, let me bring this back a bit. All right, that's better. So I'm going to connect this to the speakers now. And make sure you put the positive back on the positive and negative back on the negative when it comes to the speaker. Right, so what we're going to do now is we've got the battery, we've got our connector, it's on the speaker, and now we're going to connect this battery. And see what happens. Okay, I got some good news. That LED's come on. The reason why I thought it may be running sort of not connected and that because it's on the circuit board. It's on the circuit board. That was my mistake, but never mind. Life goes on. Right, so the LED on the front is working, so it's fine. So you don't need to worry about an LED for it. Okay, something I've learnt there as well, by the way. I've learnt something. So anyway, let's do it. So we connect that. Okay, LED's on. And I'm sure there's going to be sound. We've got it. We're in. And that sounds very clear, okay? It sounds I'm so happy with this. So now I can busk with this amplifier. But that is clear. That is very clear. Okay, and that's how it's done. Simple, isn't it, really? So I'm really happy with that. Let's put that there. I'm really happy with that. I don't think there's anything really to reflect on, apart from just ignore the LED that I said to you. If it doesn't work, obviously, if it's got some sort of circuitry going on that it's not going to come on, then just do what I said. Just put your own LED in there with, but make sure you buy resistors, okay? So you can manipulate the power going to the LED so you don't blow it or it's not too bright and things like that. I'm really, really happy with this, guys. I hope you get something from this. Hi, and I'm back. I just love talking to you guys. Right, I'm back. I've put it all together. And everything's fine. I put the battery in there. That battery cannot come out. It's impossible. Lucky. The fit there. I was lucky. So that's it. So just to reflect basically on the LED just quickly again, if the LED is routed within the live wires, the brown and the blue from the transformer and all that, going into the transformer, that's the input into the transformer, then it'll be 240 volt LED. And you'll be cutting all that away. So you won't be able to use that because 21 volt or 20 volt or whatever will not run that 250 LED for you. So you'd have to incorporate a new LED, which is, remember what I said, where to put it, and split it, put it in between the live wire going to this switch, okay? Just put it in between, right? Create a circuit, get it coming on when you do that, right? So that's it. If it's on the circuit board, if the LED wires are on the actual circuit board, I haven't done a guitar amp ever in my life before, so this was trial and error for me. I've learned as I've done it. So if it's on the circuit board, then you're fine. you're fine. You're good to go, because the 21 volts will just feed into the circuit board and it'll just run everything, and everything's getting its power from that 21 volts that's on the going onto the circuit board from the white pin. Okay, so that's it. Switch it off. It goes off. Just make sure it's okay. There you go. That sounds crystal to me. As long as you get that voltage right, as long as you get the voltage right and get the battery right, you will not get distortion. That I will promise you. So I hope I've explained it clearly enough to you. Sometimes I can be a bit erratic, but I hope I have explained it clearly to you. It's very important that the voltage that goes out of the transformer is the same voltage, or just maybe 1 volt one side, 1 volt maybe minus the other side, right? It'll be okay. But don't make it like 5 volts, and the battery must be able to push and to power the circuit board to give its, you know, so you get a proper sound when you hit the strings. And that's it. That's all I can recap on now. So I hope you enjoyed that, and like I said before, I'll see you on the next project, and happy busking. See you later. Okay, yes, here we are. Okay, again, I'm going to show you how to test the voltage that's coming out of the transformer, because it's really important, right? So remember, that's the input from the 240, this is the output. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a meter, put it on 20, right, and touch these 2 wires with the prongs. If it comes up minus whatever the voltage is, 21, 22, 23, 18 or whatever, if it comes up minus, it's the wrong way round. So you turn it around like that. Then you do it again. And if it doesn't say minus 28, 20, 21, 15, wherever it is, then your live is on that side. You get it? That's your live. Okay? And that'll be your neg. So that's it. I thought I'd explain that bit to you, to make sure that you know exactly what voltage is coming out of it. You're going to need a meter. Whichever way it goes, you're going to need a meter. You're going to need a meter. Okay? So that's really important, you know the voltage, because you can blow your amp up as well. You can blow your amp up as well. I've just had sort of 4/4 when I, you know, sort of left you earlier on when I said goodbye, but I need to really explain this because I don't want you to blow your amps up. Okay, guys? Seriously, right? So you'll know the voltage is coming out, and you'll know which side is the live, and you'll know which side is neggy, right? So if it's 20, 21, remember, you just need a battery, 19, 20, 21, right? Just 1 volt apart or whatever, right? And that's it. You won't blow. You got no chance of blowing up your amplifier. Okay. I do need to mention that. I think it's responsible for me to mention that because I don't want anyone to damage their amplifier. Okay. Take care, everyone. I hope that explained everything to you, so you're not panicking. And do the job with confidence, basically. Okay. See you later.